If I tense up and use my muscles, it's not actually as heavy, okay? But when I relax and dig into it, okay? And you can move that quicker and quicker. I could transfer momentum faster and faster to get more moment transfer, more damaging. When you're relaxed, your full body weight can flow. So here, if I try to muscle up, it's pretty much that's not possible. When I relax, I go, whoop, see, he comes up like that. So in practice, we usually do it as a 0-inch punch because that takes the edge out of it, right? So I'm not gonna go boom, that would be bad. But go like this, boom, 0-inch punch like that, and he pops. Okay, thank you for helping me illustrate something. So what I want to talk about today is how song generates its power. There's two mechanisms. One is just a transfer of momentum that's efficient when you're relaxed. If you're tense, you're not efficient. If you're tense, your punches are awkward, you don't get your full body weight into your punch. But if you're relaxed, put your hands up for me. So if I'm tense, only some amount of my force, maybe for my fist and my arms weight will get into the fist, right? When you're relaxed, your full body weight can flow, and so it gets pushed back. And that it wasn't very explosive, like it's not like your bones broke, but there's force that pushed you back. And that force is just my weight and my momentum. See, if you go like this, right? You know, let's say I'm 180 pounds or something, and I had a 180-pound punching bag, and it leaned on you, that would push you back. It just would be tiring to hold it up, right? So that's what it is. If my full momentum flows into you, it's burdensome. If I tense up and use my muscles, it's not actually as heavy, okay? But when I relax and dig into it, it gets into you and moves you back. So that's just my weight, my momentum, okay? And you can move that quicker and quicker. I could transfer momentum faster and faster to get more momentum transfer, more damaging. We don't have to demonstrate our palms or anything like that.
Okay.
But there's another element to Song's power, which is that I am borrowing his power. What does I mean by that? So go like this again. See, he's being strong, he's resisting me. He's really pushing and anchoring himself and fighting against me. So it's that force, when my weight goes down, it's actually his force that bounces him back. So I'm here like this, and he's really resisting me. And I relax and I flow into it, and he pops up because he has that much tension. Whereas if you were like lazy, hold your hand up, you're just half-assing this, and you're like, So nothing really happens until I really like get to his body or something like that. So if he's not putting much power, he's not bouncing back that much. So sometimes it looks like that the student is just jumping back for the teacher's demonstration, and to a certain extent they are. It is their own power that they're resisting with that is popping them back. If they put no power into it, then I would just crash into you and we probably both fall down together or something like that. Does that make sense? And then for demonstration in which I'm in a situation where it looks like it's impossible for me to have any power, you're correct. If it's impossible for me to have any power, I am borrowing his power. So a simple example of that is if I'm lying down trying to raise my arm. So I'm down here like this, and kneel down and push down with your arms, humming like this. So here, if I try to muscle up, it's pretty much that's not possible. When I relax, I go, whoop, see, he comes up like that. And so, let's suppose he's 180 pounds, 170 pounds, or something like that. And in this position, maybe 60 pounds is on me, 60 pounds right here, 60 pounds on his legs. And I could get that to go up. Do I have the strength to lift 60 pounds like this? No, I don't. Let go for a second. Even this 15 pounds, like this, I try to lift it up. Oh, I kind of do it, but it's pretty darn hard. That's stronger than I thought. Anyways, so I don't really have that type of power. Suppose I'm like this, in this position, arm wrestling position, trying to lift this up would be pretty difficult. So I don't have that kind of muscle power. But if you rest down on me, and he's pushing into me, and I relax, then it's actually his power that I'm borrowing that's causing him to bounce himself off. Whereas if you were like this, meaning let's say you have one too many beers and you just fell asleep on my arm and he's a limp body, I would not be able to get it up. Does that make sense? If you're just dead weight I cannot borrow muscle force from, then it would not work.
So the more I push down intentionally, the more I'm gonna you have to move back.
Exactly. The more you intentionally push down, trying to align into your knee, the more you push back.
So the opposite could be true. If I'm trying to subdue someone, it's that dynamic relaxation subduing versus the intention of
Yeah.
force is that same.
What's the difference between those two things you're talking about?
Like if the roles were reversed,
Okay.
can you negate someone's internal force, like
Mhm.
opposite role?
Yeah.
Like you know, you gave the example of a drunk person
Yes.
who just
Absolutely. So let's stand back there for a
Same
second. Come on up. So I'm just sitting here, okay, comfortable, strong your stance. You push my shoulders, push me over. So here, okay, if I resist you, okay, push like this, we're just fighting with muscle and stance, and so one of us will win, but that's not necessarily favorable for me, right? If I relax and so, and you push again,
yeah.
and then not only that, so put your hand out, and this time, so you push this, and I relax, and the force is sinking through me. I'm relaxed, right? And see, come again. So he's pushing like this, and so it's sinking through me, and I'm pretty relaxed like this. Here, I can move my body in different ways, and I send my movement back into him, and he starts to lose his posture like that. So that what's making you go back again is your force reflected back. Because if you stop trying, then you would just be leaning on me. So if you swing on me like that weight, just not the way with your hand, just like you're tired, you just lean on me like this. You just that weight on me, and I just lean on. See, like nothing really happens when I send my momentum into you. Does that make sense?
Right.
But when you're pushing me over with good stance, you're a kung fu master, you're pushing me like this, then I sew like this, and I send it back into him. See, then he bounces back because you were aligning your force. So to a certain extent, how far you bounce back is a complement to how well you can align your force and focus your power. That you can use your whole body together and borrow all of that. If you're lazy or weak, I don't have much to borrow. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So Song allows you to borrow the power. How does it do that? By connecting you to the earth. So to a certain extent, our body knows what's solid. The earth is solid, ground is solid. You do push-ups, you practice push-ups. Have you ever felt like when you do push-ups, your hand will go into the ground, just punch through the floor? Not really, right?
No.
If you're on a table of like some cheap, flimsy balsa wood, you feel like, I don't know, this table might not hold me if I do a few push-ups, you're kind of feeling, right? And if you lean on the office chair and it's got wheels, you could tell this thing rolls and you won't really lean into it. You know that's movable. You know the earth is basically non-movable. Does that make sense? So your body instinctively knows this. Now when you push me, and I struggle you, I might struggle you with some decent strength, but you know it's a movable thing. You might win. You might not, but you might win, right? But you keep pushing, and I relax, and it comes to earth. Now the body feels like it's not going anywhere. Do you feel like it's going anywhere?
No,
You
I
don't-
feel like I'm pushing against myself.
Yeah, exactly. Because now it's like you're trying to push into the ground really hard, and you know that it's ground. And then when you're standing on the ground, and the earthquake, I don't know if everyone watching this experience earthquake. We do a lot here. So when there's an earthquake, what does your body do? You try to align with the ground. The ground's moving, but you're trying to align with the ground, right? So you push on me, and you think this is the earth, this is solid, and there's an earthquake, and then your body instinctively still aligns with that. You see that? You're not saying you're going to go up and down, but you adjust your power to align with that. And when it goes into you, you're aligning with it in a way that causes you to get bounced back. Does that make sense? So it is how a human's body, and probably all mammals, respond to the feeling of something that feels solid, one with the earth. And when you really have Song, you are one with the earth. And so their force naturally pushes off the earth, so they bounce back. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions?
No, I think it has to answer them.
Okay. Any feedback on what it feels like when it's happening?
Kind of feels like almost like putty, and
Like
then
putty, yeah.
I just feel myself pushing myself back.
Yeah, like you can notice yourself pushing. You feel like it shouldn't be happening, but it is happening, right?
Yeah.
So and that tells you that the logical part of your brain is still working, still struggling, but the instinctual part of your body that balances and coordinates you has decided that no, what we're going to do is push ourselves off. And so that's the fascinating, profound part of this when it comes to person-to-person forces. So yeah, it allows you to transfer your momentum fully and efficiently, and that's when it's useful when you're hitting. It actually hits so hard. Like I said, I didn't really want to demonstrate that, right? But we're not demonstrating that. Don't worry.
Okay.
So you can easily injure someone's bones and joints doing that. So in practice, we usually do it as a 0-inch punch because that takes the edge out of it, right? So So I'm not gonna go boom, that would be bad. But go like this, boom, you open punch like that, and he pops. Okay, but no harm done. It's just kind of a surprising thing. So that's the way we practice it, but you can use it to deliver a blow that sends shockwave deep into the body, so that they feel into the inside. And then aside from that, it's useful to borrow their force, to reflect their force, not just when they push you or pull you, but to defend against certain takedowns and grapples, and to make it so their punches don't knock you off your feet and so forth, right? Make sense?
Yes.
Any more questions?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for helping me illustrate this. Thanks for watching.